How's you going, boys? Mike here. Welcome back to Grampy's Workshop. It's raining today, kind of mild. Yesterday it was clear, sunny, kind of cool in the morning. So we get a lot of temperature changes. Temperature changes, at least in my shop. It's an uninsulated barn with a concrete floor. The barn's about a day behind in the temperatures. So when I come out in the shop, like, well, yesterday morning for example, it was kind of chilly. I opened up the doors and it was mild outside by that time. Condensation forms, right? Condensation. Your worst enemy in the wintertime, especially for woodworking tools, because my table saw, my joiner, my bandsaw, they all have cast iron tables on them, and when cast iron sweats, it rusts. So I'm going to show you my table saw here this morning. That's what I'm going to start with today. We're going to try to clean those up. I'm going to show you all the rust on it and show you what I do to clean up my cast iron tables on my power tools. So, look at that. She's a little on the rusty side, boys. Yep. So, what I'm going to do is I have a sander. Look over here. I'm going to try this. I usually use a belt sander on this, but I don't have any fine paper for my belt sander, so I've got this old vibrating sander. I got some 220 grit on it. I'm going to go over it with that, try to buffer down, get the rust off it, and then I'll clean all the table with mineral spirits, let it dry good, and then put some wax on it. So there's my sander, and I'm just going to try and sand off this, wipe it down with the rag, see how we make out. So it's going to get loud. So I think we're done of the sanding at least. So I'm going to get a cloth and some mineral spirits and clean this up. So I didn't have any mineral spirits, but I have some paint thinner, which is, I guess, about the same. It's going to be for this case anyway. And it's just a shop towel, one of those blue ones. And just rub over everything. Basically what I'm trying to do here is take up all the grit and whatnot that I sanded off it, the rust. So that's what I'm going to do, and when I finish this I'll come back and show you the next step. So I got her all wiped down with the mineral spirits or the paint thinner. So now I'm just going to go over it again with a clean cloth. Try to dry up as much of that mineral spirit as I can. Get up here, you. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to let it just dry a little in the air. Just let it air dry, because I'm going to put some wax on it. Doesn't look too bad there. Okay, there's lots of different solutions and suggestions on how to preserve your tabletops so that they don't rust or minimize the rust. One of the ones that I like is to put car wax on them. So what I have here is some Mother's Canuba car wax. And what I'm going to do is I'll just open this up, smear it on, let it dry, and then buff it off. And I find that works pretty good. My table was getting rusty here though because of the condensation, like I said. So the Canuba wax is good. It helps preserve it, but it won't prevent it. I just wanted to let you know that it won't prevent it. But when you put the wax on it, the car wax, The wood slides nice on the table then, and there's not much friction. So that's what I'm going to do, but I'm just going to let this dry up a little bit first before I do that. So we're going to put the wax on. It says to apply with a damp cloth, so I wet down one of these towels, and we just smear it on. It's pretty simple, really. Even your mother could do it. Well, I guess that's why they call it mother's wax. Well, I don't know if that's why they call it mother's wax or not. And when I put the wax on, I try to do it liberally. Is that a bad word in Canada today, liberal? Federally, I guess it would be. But provincially, it's just, you know, liberal. Even this is a wooden insert. I even wax that because it doesn't buff off. It's not like furniture wax, this stuff, but it helps the wood to be a little less sticky. And then after we get a good coat of this wax on, we let it dry, then buff it off. This mother's wax, it's good wax. It's if you ever put it on your car, you'd know that it's great wax. Okay, so we're just going to let that sit and dry for a bit. We'll come back when it's a little haze to it, and we'll buff it off. So we have a nice haze on all that wax now. So I just have an old towel that I'm going to use rather than the paper. The towel seems to do a better job rather than the paper towels. So then you just buff it off. You need elbow grease. And when you buff it, you can see when it comes off, and then it gets right like a sheen to it, and then the cloth slides across. Like, it's not buffed so good on this side. Look how the cloth stops, but on this side the cloth slips right across there, so you can tell from that when it's buffed enough. But the Canuba wax, I used to try other things. I tried, one time I just tried Varathane on it. Well, that didn't work worth a darn. So I wouldn't try that again. But that's coming nice there now. You can feel it's pretty slippy. And I guess if you wanted, like, because of the time of year, and there's lots of condensation and temperature change, due to the temperature change, it would probably be, you know, it wouldn't be out of the ordinary to put a second coat on it of wax. But there. I'm going to call that done. It will get rusty again though before the winter's over, I'm sure. But it's not a good idea to leave the rust on the tables, because it'll pit them and make them prone to rust even more the next time, I guess. Alright then, that's it. I got the rust all off my saw. I got her waxed up. She's nice, good shape now. Be ready to cut some wood. And don't have any projects lined up for the near future, but over the winter I plan on making a few little things here and there. So we'll be using this saw. Hopefully there'll be no more rust on it. So if you have a cast iron table, watch out for rust. And this is a way an old fellow in the woods treats his table saw so that it minimizes the rust. It'll still rust, but this minimizes it. Alright, thanks for tuning in, thanks for watching, thanks for taking time. I hope you enjoyed it. And if there's anything here that you saw that can help you, 2 thumbs up for that. We'll talk to you.